Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cave Trolls podcast. This is episode 9. We took a few weeks off. We were working on some new content for you, so just look out for that. But in the meantime, check out this week's episode where we're getting into TV universes, comic coverage, and some other random stuff. Enjoy. You were reading Invincible, right?
Yes.
How far are you?
Like 40-something. I'm in there.
It's so weird because that comic book's been out since I was in like 8th grade.
And
No, not 8th grade. Since I was like 8 is what
I'm
I mean.
upset that I didn't start reading it earlier.
I told you, man. It's the best superhero comic, but also the best non-superhero comic, if that makes sense.
It's so good.
It's a really good gateway drug to comics. I know we've talked about it several times on the podcast, but
Like, I mean, you came in the room and like after I got done reading 40 issues, you just see like a line of Coke on my fucking nose.
woo! This book's amazing.
Because it's the equivalent of that.
It's really awesome. They do a good job of doing this whole soap opera thing that comic books do while balancing it, and deaths usually stick. It's one of the books that benefits from having one writer.
I mean, like, also like with the recent death that I witnessed, it was very brutal and a little bit traumatizing. Jordan walks in the room. I'm just like, I'm going through a lot of stuff right now.
And I'm playing music, and you just look back and you're like, oh man. And I'm like, are you okay? There's something wrong. He's like, this character died in Invincible.
and the music you were playing matched it way too well.
I was
it
playing
some brutal metal.
Jimmy Eat World, Get It Faster, while somebody was being ripped in half.
Yep.
Great song, great comic book. Read both of those.
Not just someone getting ripped in half. Many versions of that someone getting ripped in half.
Good book, man. Good book. Where are you? You started reading Invincible, right?
Yeah, I think I'm at like 65 or something like that.
See, that's so crazy. Like, it doesn't sound like you're that far because, like, I'm like 60 issues ahead of you. But the thing is, it comes out monthly, and there's been hiatuses. Like, this book has been around since I was in 3rd grade. I haven't been reading it. I think I started reading it when I was a junior or senior in high school.
Yeah, like I have like some older Marvel comic books that have advertisements for Invincible in it.
Invincible.
And it's like got a picture of him with Eve, and I'm like, who the hell is this? Why are they in this book?
These aren't characters I know.
Image, what is this crap? I don't need it.
What is this shit? But I don't know. It's a solid book, and the thing I really like about it is I don't have to read 10 tie-ins.
Yeah, I love that.
There are a couple tie-in books, like Invincible Universe is good. That kind of dealt with him being on a team. There's Guarding the Globe, which is the Guardians of the Globe, their spinoff. That was only 10 issues, but that was really good. And then there's Wolfman, Astonishing Wolfman.
Yeah, you've told me about that a couple times.
Or Astounding Wolfman. That's also a really good book that ties in. But see, Image is fast and loose with their universe, quote unquote. Invincible is really the one that they set off, like trying to make things like Invincible's mom showed up in Savage Dragon first. She showed up to someone's funeral, and she was like consoling them in Savage Dragon. Invincible first showed up in Tech Jacket, which was another book from Image, who then kind of joined that team, and he showed up. He's probably the one that showed up the most in Invincible's world because like they meet the aliens that created his suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah, so they use him a little bit more, and also Robert Kirkman was really involved with Tech Jacket, so it was easier to do
Science
that.
Dog.
Science Dog is a shit. Science Dog also had his own book for a little while, but like it's like a comic within a comic. So.
Yeah, but it's just meta and awesome.
Exactly. It's a really silly story too. Like when they showed his origins, I thought that was a really good issue. Image has just put out so many good comics since they're all creator owned. It just points out how much I'm really disappointed with a lot of the mainstream books. Like I told you guys, like I'm only really buying 2 or 3 books from Marvel and DC now, and I buy them all because I'm a collector. And like we've talked about how much money I've spent on this podcast and how we were breaking the bank and how I stopped. I didn't buy Amazing Spider-Man last week, Doctor Strange, all the books I would like, but
I haven't bought any of the books in the past like 3 weeks. And I'm so broken and hurt by it, but at the same time, I'm not broke.
Exactly, you're not broke. That's the thing is you have money, and it lets me kind of buy the books I really like. Like one, I recommend you guys read Fairyland.
Yes,
Welcome to Fairyland.
Awesome.
That was a really awesome book. Invincible, of course. I'm still reading Black Canary by DC. That's an amazing book. Really awesome art. It's like Scott Pilgrim, just without the music, which sucks, obviously, but it's very Scott Pilgrim feel. It's the Battle of the Bands.
Because like honestly, like after watching the movie Scott Pilgrim, I don't think I could really read the graphic novel because the music.
What I did, because I had the same problem as you, I was like, I love the
Played
movie
the
so much.
soundtrack.
I
to it?
played the 8-bit soundtrack
Oh,
from the video game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and it fit really, really well, and it was really awesome. And plus, the book has the same similar storyline, but there's a lot more to it. So it's you can kind of delve into that world. And now that it comes in volumes, it's really easy to read. You could go through it pretty fast.
I'm sure I could.
I read it all before the movie actually came out.
Did
so,
you? Did
yeah.
you? I didn't even know there was a comic until the movie came out because I wasn't really reading anything from Oni Press when I was in school. So
Yeah, like I
That
saw the
was
first
only thing I've
commercial
ever
for
read
it.
from Oni Press.
oh,
I saw the first commercial for it. I was like, well, this is something. I have no idea what this is about. Then I hear from you later on, like closer to its like
release date?
yeah, closer to its release. You're like, no, dude, it's about a comic book.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on board.
You gotta see it now, right?
Chris Evans, why not?
One of my favorite Edgar Wright movies, but I had went and seen it with our friend Corey, and my friend Corey is a awesome dude. However, I usually use him as a chick magnet because girls were he had a convertible. So like,
mean, that works.
So he would hook me up all the time, and after a while, he had to stop like doing it. He was like, "I'm not. You ruin all my friendships with all these girls because either like they don't like you or you don't like them, and then they just never want to talk to me again." But I felt so bad because me and him were going to see this movie, and he invited his friend to go see it with us, and it turned into a date for me and her. And he was like,
damn.
"You fuck her," but this movie was awesome, so I'm okay with it. But then he made me and him just went and seen it. Me and him, like I've seen Scott Pilgrim theaters like 4 or 5 times.
Hey, man, I'd do it.
I think like one of the 2 or 3 times I saw it with you.
Yeah.
It was a solid movie. With comic book adaptations, though, I have a problem because I love movies so much and I also love comics, but I always end up liking one more than the other.
Yeah.
And that sucks because it almost ruins the other one for me. And it's not that I don't appreciate it more. It's just like I really started to dislike the Spider-Man movies, the original Sam Raimi trilogy.
Oh, definitely.
After I got a little bit older and read a lot more Spider-Man comics, just because I'm like, this doesn't strike the same accord. Yeah, it really doesn't. It doesn't seem the same to me. So like that kind of ruined it for me. Did that ever happen to you guys, where you just like can't read the source material because you like the new one more, or vice versa?
Yeah, definitely. Like your example with Spider-Man, like that definitely hit me later on.
I still think Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Yes.
I agree.
But it's not the same Spider-Man that
I always
I've grown
forget
to
about
love.
Spider-Man 2 because I look at 1 and 3, I'm like, well,
It's the same thing with Daredevil right now because I love Joe Quesada's run and I love Kevin Smith on that. Those are some awesome books. But then watching that TV show, that is such a cool take on it.
It's totally similar, but it's very different.
Yeah, it is. It is very. It's like I always say, it's a different character essentially. Same source material,
It's
but
a different book essentially.
it
but
really
it's
is.
a show.
I mean, honestly, that whole first season is an origin story.
And honestly,
Right.
that's the whole thing Marvel's doing with all of their movies and their shows that they've been working on.
Yeah, it's a different universe,
It's a different story. It's a different universe.
They pull from similar stories and
Right.
the source material, of course. It's all from the comic book, but. I think they're doing a good job of kind of creating their own world with it, like all the different versions. One thing I am pissed right now, spoilers for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Age of Ultron right now. Have you guys watched the most recent episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? So, spoilers, again, like I said, this is just, light spoilers for it, but they killed the Von Strucker kid.
Yeah.
So, and a couple other podcasts talk about this, so I don't want to tread over it too much, but why do they keep killing these cool-ass villains like nothing? Like, both Von Struckers went out like bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an awesome joke in Age of Ultron. Like, hey, we will not surrender.
We're going to surrender.
But, like, and then his son went out like a bitch, too.
Yeah.
Like, man, what's up with all of them? Like, Von Strucker's such a cool bad guy. Are they going to do that to Baron Zemo, too, in the new Civil War?
I don't know because
Baron Zemo is a very interesting character, other than Das Helmet, you know what I mean? The fucking purple handbag he puts over his head.
I can see like a total run for just that character and everything that he
exactly.
works
I
with.
mean, wasn't he Captain America for a little while, or something similar? Like he became like Agent Zero at some point. And,
I don't remember.
but he's right now like he's a Captain America type character.
Captain Confederacy?
I hope not. Well, he's got like American flag outfit. He's got his saber still and kind of a helmet that's similar, but he's a good guy. Helmut. Sometimes those names are awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
But I am a little bit disappointed with stuff right now because I was pumped about the Doctor Strange book, but Marvel totally burnt me out with all of their launching these books. If they would have launched them all at the same time, I would have felt like, okay, I can buy these books. But since they kind of staggered them, I don't know what I'm reading anymore. I stopped reading Spider-Man 2099. It was good. It wasn't great. I'm still reading Amazing
just-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, with the $20.99, it's good tied with like the other stories that are going along with it.
Mhm.
But you
That's
have
the
to
thing. Is
get
I
all
don't
those-
like it on its own.
Yeah,
I liked it as a continuation. That's another thing is none of these are number ones. That is all bullshit. None of these are. These are essentially continuations of all the stories that happened with Secret Wars. Secret Wars didn't matter,
Yeah.
which I think is bullshit. That really pissed me off. I mean, Secret Wars is awesome, and I understand these writers wanted to get back to what they were doing, but most of them don't even mention it.
right.
The only ones that have made real mention of it that's changing anything is
a little
Iron
bit.
Man.
Yeah, and then that's it. Honestly,
Yeah, even Amazing Spider-Man didn't even touch on it. Other
Well,
than he's rich
But also,
now.
we don't really know how Secret Wars ended yet.
That's
one of the
even-
Avengers books does a little bit.
Which one? Excuse me. New Avengers?
I think so. With the Maker, they mentioned
Okay.
something.
Yes. Yeah. The men, like the characters that are in it are from the Fallout, I
Right.
guess, but
but they mentioned something. I
it
don't
just
remember.
really. But what I really mean, it's not so much that Secret Wars isn't a part of it, which I'm okay with because some people didn't like Secret Wars.
Yeah.
What I'm not okay with is that these stories are just picking up from where they left off. There's a short recap
Mhm.
and then new. Iron Man gave it 1 page.
Yep,
This
while
is-
he was building a suit of
while
armor,
he's building
just
a suit
talking
of armor.
about shit that happened.
Amazing Spider-Man, I think, did the best.
Yeah.
Wait, gave it like 4, and then Doctor Strange, which to be fair, Doctor Strange hasn't had his own book in like 8 years,
Yeah.
so that one kind of gets a
Not
pass.
to mention what happened to him in Secret Wars.
Exactly.
It's-
All the Avengers books, I thought, did a terrible job of it.
Mm-hmm.
$20.99.
I haven't
wouldn't say
read
it
All
was
New,
terrible,
All
but-
Different yet, so
You haven't read All New, All Different? Well, no, that's not out yet. Or did it come out
I
this
think
week?
that might have been this week.
We apologize. So what we're trying to say is there's going to be a little bit less comic book coverage because we're falling off a little bit on that. We're still going to talk about them. We still love them, but we're going to more talk about the things that we just like.
I'll
Maybe
catch
some of the
up
news.
eventually, but
Exactly. We'll catch up. It's just it's an expensive hobby, and we do this in our spare time. This isn't our day job, so
We're just going to talk about all the things that we can afford.
exactly the things I want to spend my money on.
the information on the internet, essentially.
Right, exactly. Or if there's a tie into a movie because we'll pick it up.
Yep.
Actually, have you guys read Flash 2.5 or Arrow 1.5? The ones that happened in between the seasons?
I haven't.
Nope.
I've just finished Flash 1.5, and it's a little disappointing. It wasn't very good. The art was interesting. Like, those art was always really good, but the story, and it wasn't bad writing, so I don't want to knock the writers. It just wasn't that fun. I kind of felt like I was like, oh, this is completely unnecessary.
Didn't quite tickle your fancy.
Yeah, which I get 'cause a lot of the people who watch that show, CW fodder, like it's not people aren't going to go out and get the comic too. But it was just a little disappointing because I really like the Green Arrow character. I like comic books that have him in it, but he's very different in the book
Yeah.
than he is in the show. So I thought maybe we'd get more of lighthearted Ollie in the comic book, and it wasn't that at all. Which is my own personal preference, not being met. That has nothing to do with the book quality. But it just seems like they're not trying very much in those. Just like a cash in.
Yeah, it could be.
Whereas in like you have the follow up shows for like Smallville. Like Smallville's comic book's awesome. I love that book.
Yeah, that book is what made me appreciate Smallville as a whole. And
Exactly.
Even more.
Like I mean, like it was just a fun DC show when you didn't have a lot
Right.
on television. And then that comic book. I mean, I think it's the first like follow up season, like season 11 or whatever it was, introduces Batman, and he's that Batman is a really interesting Batman because he's young Bruce Wayne, kind of like how he is in 0 Year.
Oh, okay.
Very similar to that, and it's really fun. Just him meeting like young Clark is just always interesting. Like I loved Batman versus Superman when DC brought that out, and now it's kind of or Batman and Superman. Sorry, but I don't know. I think I'm just burnt out on a lot of those books. DC's done the same thing that Marvel did to me. You're releasing too many books that are too mediocre.
Yeah.
They're not that top quality. Whereas I feel like everything that comes from Image nowadays is just amazing. Even Dark Horse is stepping their game up.
I just really want to finish Batman Beyond because there's only one more issue for it that I need.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you
know
just want to finish up your arc that you're in. And
Yeah.
then, that makes sense. I haven't done that in a while. Last one I did that with was Daredevil, and I was really disappointed after I fell off because it got really good at the end there. Also, Black Widow. Black Widow was solid. I don't know if you guys have read that from Marvel.
Yep.
Right before Secret Wars. It was also a really good book. I've been rereading Saga. I just started Volume 1 again. Have you read Saga? Brian K.
No.
Vaughan.
Brian K. Vaughn's
I recommend anything Brian K.
Yeah.
Vaughan. He's amazing. Even his books that are like on the weaker side, like right now, We Stand on Guard. I think it's his weakest book he's done so far, and even that's still really good.
yeah.
He always gets top artists.
It started
His
out a
writing's
lot
amazing.
stronger than it's been lately.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's kind of fallen off. The thing is, though, each issue gives me one good hook.
Yep.
Like, it really does. It'll do like one thing. You're like, oh fuck, I definitely got to read this again.
Yep.
Like it's like, this is kind of boring. Maybe I shouldn't be buying this. Maybe I shouldn't be spending the $3.99. And then he'll do something fucking crazy. I'm like, that was awesome. All right, I'm gonna buy the next issue. Paper Girls.
Paper
yeah.
Girls.
I haven't read number 2 yet,
I haven't either.
but
I forgot all about that one.
that book
There's
was
just so
amazing.
many. That's the problem.
That's the thing is there's too many books we can't.
It's like
keep up with.
Pokemon.
And the thing that sucks too is like the books that we like, but they're not we don't think they're as good right now.
Yeah.
Other people are buying them, so it's not like they're getting any punishment for.
No,
putting
exactly.
out
That's the thing
terrible
is like,
books.
and the thing is like I don't want to punish them because everybody that they have on there, they're all top quality, like best writers, best artists, but they're not getting the top. They're not getting their top performance out of them because Marvel has everybody spread so thin. You're bringing people up, giving them chances, which is awesome, but sometimes before. Like my real example is one of the Marvel Avengers books.
You mean like one of the 6?
Yeah, Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah.
The ones with Rogue and
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Old Cap.
Is that Uncanny Avengers? Is that correct? I just don't want to give it.
Yep.
I don't remember the name of the artist, but I was really disappointed because he's had some amazing art on some books, and this one has been very weak.
Is that the one where you said the arms were going?
Yeah, the arms were a little wonky. And that's the thing is, it's just his art style. He's doing this. It really just seems like they're rushing him.
Yeah.
That's not the only book though either. Like out of all the other books, it's either the story that's lacking or it's
the art. Neither one of them. That's the thing. They're not getting top quality out of all their books. I top of my head, I think there are 3 main ones right now that everyone's buying because they're solid. Amazing Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man.
Yep.
I think those are the best books they're putting out, which sucks because it's only 3 out of like the
Right.
50 books they've launched.
And Iron Man's, it's impressed me lately because I was.
Yeah, I got a lot better.
excited for
I mentioned that a couple of times when I was reviewing them. I was really unexcited for that one, and it's really stepped up its game. It's funny. It's giving you the Tony Stark from the movies and from the books, and not just caricatures. They're letting him grow. He's doing different things.
He's changing his mindset on things. You're actually seeing a change.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're actually letting the character grow, which is what I loved about Doctor Strange and what I've liked about Amazing Spider-Man. Like I was a little bit apprehensive just because they're changing these characters, but they're doing a good job with them. Whereas you go to all these Avengers books, number one, the characters they're throwing together, it kind of seems like they just pulled them out of a hat.
They don't work very well together, at least right now.
The banter is top notch in all these books.
Exactly.
I will give you that. They're all funny. All of the writers doing a great job with this witty banter. They're doing it Joss Whedon style. Everyone's got
Nice.
jokes, which is fun. I love that.
Yeah.
However, no one's powers complement each other. It's not a team that anyone would throw together for any real reason.
Right, like I really love that Guardians of the Galaxy book that they started.
That is my caveat. Guardians of the Galaxy is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I was saving that for the end.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's fine. I have no
popped your
complaints. I was going to get into because like the Human Torch being with the Inhumans seems like they're just copying older plot lines.
Yep.
Like with Quicksilver because he dated Crystal but like Johnny Storm's with Medusa for some reason, even though they're trying to give Black Bolt a bigger thing. It just really seems forced. It seems like they're trying to make drama for him.
Just shoehorn.
Exactly, and it's very clear they don't want the Fantastic Four together, which is fine, except for why? Like,
I mean, Marvel's first family.
I get. They want
Got
synergy between the
people
movies. They're not in the movies,
separated.
so they're trying to put them on different teams to get more recognition that way. I understand that, but I think Secret Wars killed off Sue and Reed, so they're not anywhere, which sucks.
That's like my biggest disappointment, though, because like I was so excited for this reboot at first, because like Fantastic Four was like the first thing that got me into comics. So I'm like, I can actually read that now.
Well, that's why I
instead of,
recommended you Secret Wars at the beginning, because Secret Wars is essentially just the finale to Fantastic Four. All of their books so far. So that's still a really good story. I still really appreciate it. I haven't seen how it ended. The ending could be terrible.
Yeah,
but
we
so
don't know.
far, yeah, I've really liked that.
Friggin' molecule, man.
But I was a little bit disappointed just at I was fine with them splitting them up, but what they've done with them so far hasn't been top notch, except for the Thing. The Thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I think he's a great addition to Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's a little
so.
random that he's there, but he works there.
Yeah,
I'm fine with random if it works.
My only disappointment with that book was that Agent Venom did not get more lines. He had like 2 lines, and that was it.
I'm still angry at them for changing his costume.
Yeah, that was honestly bad.
Agent
choice.
Venom was Agent Venom because he looked like a secret agent.
Yeah.
And now he's just the big bruiser again. Which that means Guardians of the Galaxy has 3 big bruisers. You have Drax, you have Thing, you have Venom. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense to me. It's overkill. Kitty Pryde, I think, is awesome as Star-Lord.
Oh, that's
Yes.
one of my favorite. And then they run into
Peter Quill, and I think that his whole dynamic is there too. I hope they bring up Nova a little bit more because Nova was really awesome in those books. A lot of people don't recognize him because he's not in the movies.
Yeah.
But Nova was a big part of that Guardians team and did such a good job. Same with Adam Warlock, which you got rumors that he's going to be in the new one. But do you think he's going to be his dad? I think if they're going to do his other half, Magus. Do you know Magus?
Yeah.
The evil half of Adam Warlock. I think he's going to be his father.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance of that. What's the name of Star-Lord's actual father in the book? Do you remember? I don't know. He's basically a version of the Master, kind of.
Oh, okay.
I don't. It's hard to keep track. It's been so long. I didn't really like Guardians of the Galaxy for a long
Jar
time.
Jar Binks.
So
That's
it's
what it was.
definitely Jar Jar Binks. Speaking of Guardians, though, I'm going to move a little bit away from the comics. Are you guys pumped for all these new movies coming out?
Definitely.
Like all the new lineup. I mean, we've talked about how they've shifted movies around. I'm still super excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They started casting that recently. I think they got Mantis in there because they've talked about Mantis a little bit. I don't know if they're gonna do because their original form was just like a Eastern Asian chick.
Okay.
And then later on, she'd be kind of like I don't know if she mutated or something was unlocked, but then later on, she was like green and had antenna. I don't know which one they're going to do.
She's an Animorph.
Definitely. They're probably going to do the alien because they've said that they only want like one human in those movies, and that would be Peter, and he's only half anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
Half
can see
Terra.
them. I'm trying to remember, is it Mantis or is it Moondragon that's Drax's kid? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I mean, I read Guardians of the Galaxy for a while,
But you probably didn't read like the super old ones with like
Exactly.
Yondu, or Guardians 3000.
I
and...
read the original with Yondu, and then it's just a hard book to read.
Did you read? I don't know if it was recently or if they're coming up. There's going to be a crossover, or there was, between the Guardians and the Guardians 3000 because the Guardians 3000 with Yondu and all those guys, it's actually in the future. It doesn't take place in the normal 616 timeline.
Yeah.
So.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned this before.
Yeah, so they're going to meet up, which is going to be. I think they're trying to synergize. So they're trying to get like Yondu into the main book,
Yeah.
which is cool. He's a cool character. I think he's a little bit cooler in the movie. Just like kind of made him like a backwoods kind of redneck but badass.
Yep.
But because like in the books, I mean, he's still a badass, but he just kind of has a mohawk and a bow and
Yeah,
arrow.
I mean, like
And he's blue.
You didn't like him that much in the movie at first, but he became
Double-crossed
lovable
me,
later
boy.
on.
Exactly. I think they did a really good job. They gave him a lot of play, which makes me think that he's going to have a bigger role in 2. Because like he had that whole scene just to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Peter Quill didn't have that,
No.
except for in the beginning.
Mhm.
Like I mean, like he had like a whole 3-minute thing where he killed all those guys.
Which was sweet.
Oh, it was awesome. I'm just saying, like
And
you
he
don't do that
mentions-
without bringing them back.
He
or something.
mentions Peter Quill's dad a couple times in the movie
Yeah.
too, so
So he'll probably be part of that hunt, either as an antagonist or unwilling protagonist.
Yeah.
Kind of get him on board like they need him. So I'm excited for that. You think they're going to bring John C. Reilly back?
They should.
He was part of the Nova Corps.
Yeah, they.
Because like only a few of them survived.
Yeah.
and he was one
Last
of
time
them.
I watched it with Jordan, I told him that John C. Reilly is going to be Nova.
I don't know about
I
that. Yeah.
don't-
Unless
I
they go the
think
route
so.
where he's an older Nova.
I think it should.
Because I mean, in the books they've started to do more of it, but like in this, they're kind of like a police guard. I feel
Yeah.
like the Nova in the cinematic universe is going to be like their special agent forces or like their SWAT team, because all those guys all use the Nova Force in those ships.
Yeah.
That's what that shield they put.
Not
in
to
place.
mention that most of them like died.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to do. Almost like the last Green Lantern, that whole story with Kyle Rayner, how he was the torchbearer.
Okay, yeah.
So the Nova Force is destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Like they've killed like the majority of them on that planet. So what's left, they're going to be specially trained and have the concentrated power of the Nova Corps. So it's probably going to be
like a special,
ops
team.
exactly. And then they
Yeah.
have the helmets, and they're what's left, and they're a little bit more concentrated. So you have guys jetting through space in a suit of armor, essentially.
Bucketheads.
Exactly. I know they don't want to do it, and I know Tony Stark's got his own thing going in that world, and Robert Downey Jr. only has a certain amount of movies left. But I think it'd be cool to see him with the Guardians. I don't think we need it, but he fits in with that crew so well.
I would love to see it.
And I like that arc for him when he went
Yeah.
into space before Superior Iron Man. I thought that was a really fun thing. It was him and was it Iron Lad? Did he go to? There was Young Nova. I remember he was there.
I think it was Iron Lad.
So I mean, there's some good possibilities there. We've got all this footage from Doctor Strange popping up. So I mean,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, Doctor Strange is getting a movie. Why wouldn't they do a Nova movie? You know?
They
Yeah.
should.
Do you think Nova's one of the new one of the 3 unannounced.
I'm hoping.
My theory, like I told you guys before on the podcast, I think it's Fantastic Four. I know they've denied that, and I know it's not. I know, like in my logical brain, that it's not. But I want it so bad.
I know.
Oh, I'm right there.
I know
with
it
you,
won't
dude.
work. It doesn't work because Fantastic Four were the original. For them to be the last ones added, it's neat in a kind of symmetry way, but it doesn't make any sense, and it's impossible. But I want it.
I mean, there's things they could do to make it work, but I see what you're saying. Like, I would want that too.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I've wanted that from the beginning.
Yeah, because I feel like Marvel could do some really cool things with that. I'm so excited for their Spider-Man movie. Just
Oh my god.
Well, one thing I know, like, especially after the first Guardians of the Galaxy, they've wanted to do more cosmic type movies.
Oh yeah. I mean, they want to explore that a little bit. So I can see. I mean, they're already going to be exploring the supernatural in different dimensions with Ant-Man 2. I'm sure they're going to go to the what's the name of the
Microverse?
Microverse.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I bet you $100 that Doctor Strange is going to cross into the Microverse at some point because he crosses dimensions all the time.
Yep.
And
Just like a Tuesday stroll for him.
Exactly. So I really hope they tie in together. Speaking of which, you guys saw the stills, right?
Yep.
No.
You didn't see the stills of Doctor Strange?
No.
I'm gonna pull those up for you. I saw they were. I don't know if they were leaked. I think they were official, right? They were
I'm pretty
official,
sure they
like
were official.
set shots.
Set
Set shots. Benedict Cumberbatch, graying hair, kind of long, scraggly beard. It's him. They're filming in Nepal, right? Yeah. So they can get all the monasteries and everything.
Yeah, like when he's going to
He's
Tibet and
traveling
he's
to
like
the-
all.
Yep, and they have the other guy. I forget his name, but dressed as the Baron, and he had like his Asian clothing on and like robes. And Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch had like bandages all around his
They were
hands.
bleeding
Nice.
too, weren't
Were they bleeding? I don't
think they
remember.
were.
That's awesome.
Or that might have been the video.
Might have been the
footage.
video. Yeah, there's a little bit of video of them shooting it too. And I'm really excited for that. And especially is that the next one coming out? That's the next Marvel movie
After
Civil War.
After Civil
Yeah.
War, yeah.
So that comes out
November.
November.
Pretty sure.
So a year from now.
Weird that I'm more excited for Doctor Strange than Civil War.
You're more excited for Doctor Strange than Civil War? I'm excited for Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange, but I don't know if I'm more excited than Civil War.
It's not a huge amount above, but it's above.
I'm more excited for Civil War just because of how much I love Civil War, the actual story. Obviously, it's going to be way different, but I'm just excited to see what they do with it.
I don't know. I'm excited. I feel like Doctor Strange could be the movie that they ruin. I don't think they are, but that could be the one. It's so different. I could see them not giving it the best shot because they want people to relate to it. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Because it is such a weird book.
Yeah.
It is.
And he's such a weird character. He's their gateway to magic. He's the gateway to the supernatural. So that's a lot of stuff that people don't necessarily watch in movies. That's a very genre heavy thing.
But it could be what gets them into it.
Oh, it definitely could be. I just worry what if it's too much? Because they've already mentioned this is going to be like the darker movie, I think it's going to be my favorite.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know with a fan base that Benedict Cumberbatch has. I mean,
The
people are-
Cumberbitches?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna number one just want to go see it for that reason. Number two, Doctor Strange is something a lot of people don't know a lot about, so it's their in to get the information.
Right, exactly.
And I don't see them changing it up too much to screw it up.
I don't think. No, when I said ruin, I apologize. I don't mean they're going to ruin the movie. I don't think Marvel can at this point.
Right.
I think they're too big to fail. What I'm saying is, I feel like this might be the one that people
Dislike and not
exactly. They don't find it cult following
It's
because
not,
even
it's not the normal Marvel movies that
exactly because even Ant-Man, which was a little bit off, just like a little bit off the formula, started out a little bit slow, but then really caught momentum,
Oh,
and now it was huge.
This movie was so good.
It didn't. I think it finished number 7 this year. So I mean, it came back. Like people were like, word of mouth really worked for that movie.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, Cumberbatch could definitely carry this on his own.
Just like what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, that also had a really good advertising campaign.
Yeah.
It did.
Like I saw that everywhere. It was like bus ads and benches.
Well, they
and-
worked really hard because that's what they really wanted to push that movie forward to get what they're working on now with everything.
Exactly. Part of the, Doctor Strange too is I think it's not going to be the funniest. I don't think this is going to be a laugh riot like all of them.
At least this one won't be.
Maybe. I mean, I could be wrong. Benedict Cumberbatch has some hilarious, timing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't know if this is because it's such a serious story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it starts out with, like, he's already an ass. Like, the beginning, he is Tony Stark, and by the end, he's Buddha. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, in the start, he can be an asshole. There's going to be some jokes there. But then, like, he's crippled. Like, his hands are crippled. And then he goes to a place where no one respects anything like that, and he has to learn the dark arts. And then he fights demons. Like, that's not exactly, the funniest storyline.
Right. And then after that, the only real humor and comic relief you get with Doctor Strange is when he is with other characters.
Exactly.
When he
Or
shows
his,
up in other books, shows up.
Unless they do, try to pull out the full synergy and make him funny like his new book.
Yeah, we're just
His new book is hilarious.
making out with a
Yeah.
soul sucker.
Exactly. If they go that route, I think that'd be really cool.
Let's get back to the more important thing here. He made out with a soul sucker.
I actually was thinking about this. If they go that route, which I kind of hope they do towards the end of it, I like them having a serious movie, but I like where the direction of that character is going, the balance
Yeah.
of it. What if, since like they're trying to pull out Robert Downey Jr. supposedly kind of from the movies, what if he's the new like womanizer, funny, suave playboy of the group? And like the next Avenger movies, he's making the quips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you might have Ant-Man doing that, so like he might already have that role, but
Yeah.
he's married. I mean, he's divorced, but
And like I was actually thinking about what we were saying about Fantastic Four and how they could lead into it. I was thinking maybe like they go again with a younger Reed Richards, but they do it more like Tony Stark goes to like find a protege or something. Like he's got this like Reed has this project.
That's
going
already
on.
what they're doing with Spider-Man,
Yeah.
though.
Ah, true. Okay.
They're already apprenticing, but I like where you're going with that. I like that. I don't know. I don't know what a world where Reed Richards is trained by Tony Stark looks like, but it's scary.
Not necessarily trained by him, but funded by him.
Oh, definitely fun. That makes sense with the whole Baxter building and everything. Especially because they kind of made like Stark Tower, like they've always had like Stark Tower and Baxter, but like they kind of made that building both. Like he's kind of like helping the environment. He put in the free electricity for most of New York, or safer electricity with the arc. With the arc reactor that he put in the ocean. That called wasn't that like part of Avengers? Didn't that call them there? Weren't they able to open up the gateway because of the arc reactor in New York? I feel like that was a subplot that people missed in Avengers.
I don't remember that.
I could be crazy. Could not be a thing.
I thought it was just a Tesseract.
Right.
I don't know. One thing like with the newer Doctor Strange book is, I think I mentioned it before too, it's a lot like Constantine in DC.
Okay,
The way that
it is.
He does his witty quips.
But he's like, except for Constantine's always a little bit more dire. Like,
Right.
but I see what you're saying. Like, he's the funny one out of all of the out of the supernatural stuff.
Right.
Constantine's always a little bit darker now, except for they're working up to that with the whole cost thing. To like the negative side of his powers.
Exactly. Like Constantine before, when he had his best friend around, before his best friend was just a ghost.
Right, Kaz and all that.
Yeah. He was a lot less dire in that way.
Can we take a second and remember that number one, Keanu Reeves played Constantine in that movie, but his Kaz was Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. I mean, I love
He
Keanu
just did
Reeves.
it.
That movie was interesting on itself, but it's not Constantine.
No, I just want to take a moment and Shia LaBeouf played Kaz from Constantine. That was a thing that happened in our lifetime. It makes me funny. No, nothing against Shia LaBeouf. I actually think he's a really good actor. He's just banana pants. But other than that, he's just he can be good. He's troubled. He's a troubled youth and a solid rapper that copies lines.
Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, right, of course. Just start on your own and not from reading their page.
See, what he did was he springboarded off someone else's writing.
Yeah, but he seems like he's done that a lot.
Yeah.
But he did inspire me with
really
the Just
good at
Do
what
It
he
campaign,
does.
which he copied from Nike.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did you not think about that?
No, I didn't.
Like, even that was kind of plagiarized.
When I first heard it, that's the first thing I thought.
First thing you thought of
Nike.
was Just
I
Do
like,
It.
What?
Dave doesn't do
Sports.
anything. So,
Sports affiliations.
you have a rockin' pair of Skechers, though. Shape-ups? My mom wears those.
Yeah.
I know a couple people at work that wear those.
Shape-ups, man. Get your booty looking good.
Yep. Bootylicious.
Tight
So, any other genre movies? Maybe not. Maybe not Civil War. It's Doctor Strange. I mean, we can talk about Civil War a little bit. I'm pumped. I don't know if I'm as pumped now that I know that Matthew Murdock isn't playing a part of it.
Oh damn!
Because
But still,
it could be a huge thing. Could be like a huge red herring. So like,
Right.
just
He's not
misdirection.
playing
He's not part of part.
no.
Because like he was my favorite character from Civil War, other than Spider-Man. Because he ran.
People say he does nothing. Like he's not important.
He
in that
ran
role.
the
He
whole army.
Yeah.
He ran all of Captain America's troops on the ground, and he was so cool. And he was had a small part. Like he popped up different places, but what he did and where he showed up was he was
It plays just a big part in the whole.
exactly.
battle
He was a
plays-
huge part of it.
yeah, he might have like made like a small part like in the actual comic, but his actual role was huge.
Exactly. That's the sucky thing. I feel like Defenders came, like all those characters came a year too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Matthew Murdock, and Iron Fist are 4 of the most instrumental characters in Civil War. And
Well,
now
they're all starting on the ground at the beginning of the story. And then
exactly, and they come front and center by the end of it.
Yep.
And not only that, but they're like the most inspiring and the most interesting stories from that, other than Spider-Man, who also kind of started there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where they all got the chance to step up. And then Luke Cage, by the end of it, is leading the Avengers. So it sucks that they're coming so late and they're not going to get their time to shine through Civil War. And I know this is going to be a different story. It's not going to be so, superhuman registration, and it's going to be a different thing. But that was the part I was hoping I would get. Because I'm not going to get the Spider-Man unveiling, so put that away. We're getting Black Panther, which is fine. He might unveil himself. Black Panther, everyone's always known his identity. He doesn't have a secret identity. Now, maybe in this world it'll be a big deal because he's a new hero. But nobody in this world has a secret identity anyway, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And in the comics, he never had one. So I don't care about that. I'm pumped to see him in it, and he's going to be kind of a Spider-Man role in between Stark and Cap, but
I mean, one of my favorite parts of Civil War is how much Spidey fighting Captain America.
that is such a cool.
When and he mentions Cap being his idol.
Yeah,
He
he's
idolizes
my
him.
idol, and
he
he's
doesn't
right.
want to fight him.
Yeah, he even says he's like, I think you're right on this, but like I have to protect my family, and
Right.
that it was kind of like almost renew your vow. It was like
Yeah.
like zero issue, like just in that one fight because he's like I mean I want to do these things, but like I have to think about my family first. And, and you're breaking the law, so I got to bring you in. And then, like, just the flashes of him not reading, but, like, looking. It was, like, almost like Coulson. Like, he's, like, looking back at, like, when he was a kid and idolizing him and then punching Cap in the face. Like, and just, like, even, like, the cover art from that one where it's just, like, his suit torn and, like, his claws broken and the Cap shield's broken just sitting there. Like, such a cool cover. And that's probably not going to happen. And we're not going to see Luke Cage walking down the street being shot by troops. We're not going to see Matt Murdock and Cap meeting in the sewers to do their planning. You're not going to see any of that shit.
You're not going to see him busting up some thugs in the bar.
No, you don't get to see any of that stuff. I hope we get some stuff that makes me forget about it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I hope they do something to pull it out because that was essentially the genesis of me loving comics as much as I do was Civil War. And I know it's not the best crossover book ever, but it was the thing that got me into it. So it's special to me.
That was the year I ignored biology and took your intro to comics class.
You learned all about Venom and Spider-Man and
Just
everything.
any class I had a computer in, I'd go there on the Marvel Wiki and find something to talk to Terry about.
So TJ our friend TJ actually, he would do the same thing. Like when he first got to college, one of his roommates was a lot like me, just like obsessed with it. And he'd call me like, "Hey man, like what do you know about like Green Lantern?" I was like, "Everything." He's like, "I need to know about like there's other rings," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, there's so many."
What?
So
Whoa.
like,
He didn't know that?
yeah, well, I mean,
Whoa.
TJ didn't really read comics as
True,
much, so
yeah.
like he was just like, I know what there is, but like I want to know what they are. So like I gave him a crash course in like the Green Lantern Corps and like what they were. And this is just the thing, like I should have been in class like doing homework. So I'm like, all right, man, look, okay, so like here's the spectrum of emotions, and they correspond to a ring, and these rings go along with the core. And I think I spent like 25 minutes going into all the ghosts that Larfleeze has control of as the orange. Yeah, of the greed. And I was like, yeah, he hoards ghosts of previous Orange Lanterns. He's one of my favorite characters from DC. But so these books are so near and dear to my heart, and I don't think they're by any means, they're not going to ruin the story. That doesn't make me love that story any less. I was just a little bit disappointed when hearing that this story, in some ways, coming to the big screen, that my favorite moments might not show up there.
Yeah.
So that just kind of sucks. But like I said, I hope they do something that makes me forget about
It's
those.
just disappointing when something you love so much crosses into a bigger medium,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't equal out to what you loved.
I almost wish that they called it something different than Civil War, but had like ties to where you knew that's kind of
that was
where
the story
they were going.
Oh, yeah, I get
Because
that.
it's not going to be a
It's not going to be the
Civil
same
War.
Civil War. It's going to be
It's going to be like a small group debate where they fight.
it's going to be group debate in in the student in the student lounge, and Tony Stark is going to try to be the president of the senior class of 2015, and
2016.
whatever, man. Don't ruin my joke. You said debate. Never mind. I hate you. We will have a civil war
You
after
will
this.
rue the day.
You will rue the day.
Wait, so does that mean I'm Spider-Man?
You choose.
Isn't
your
a
side.
roux like a base for gravy?
Yes, it is.
What?
A roux.
If you could have saw the triple take that Dave just did.
Do you cook, Dave?
I mean, with a microwave and a toaster.
Ramen. He's solid at making ramen.
He made a burger finally.
Yeah. Like,
This is a pretty good burger.
Where,
it was
did you-
good.
Did you do it 2 times now?
no, just once.
Just once.
Made Sloppy Joe the second time.
I made beef and broccoli today. It was solid.
I still never got to eat.
You can have some. I'll give you some. It's fine.
Do it.
Jordan got to smell it.
I did get to smell it.
I offered you some. In my defense,
I had pizza left over, so
when we got really drunk the other night and walked to the grocery store
That
and
was a
bought
fun
frozen
night.
pizzas. I tried to compose myself as much as I could. I thought I did a very good job, except for I sounded like Frasier at the counter. I'm like, "Hello, madam. How are you doing this evening? Next caller." And she's like, "Okay, that'll be $3.75, please."
If you're gonna sound like Frasier, though, you need to talk about wine more.
I can't do it. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm terrible at impressions. I can't do that. And also, I don't drink wine, so I'll leave that to you guys. I'm more of a beer and Pepsi guy.
Yeah.
Not mixed together. That's a terrible drink.
Ugh.
Don't do that.
Pepsi beer.
Pepsi beer. That's probably like just as bad as Pepsi Crystal.
Yeah.
Like on the same level.
Nuka-Cola Quantum.
I have you drank? Fallout has a new beer coming
Yeah,
out.
it's the Jones thing.
Is it paired with Jones? No, it's a beer. I'm not talking about they have a soda. They have Nuka-Cola. That's a
Yeah.
thing. You can buy that at FYE. But no, I'm talking about the actual beer that Fallout has coming out.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't think you can get it in America. I think you have to be in Europe, but that's the thing. That's part of their promotion. You guys excited for Fallout 4?
Old, yes.
I've got it.
I'm pretty sure. The reason why I'm pretty sure it's preloading on your Steam. It just popped up.
that was the Windows 10 thing.
Oh, okay. Are you?
But no, I'm sure it's pretty. I think it's preloaded already.
That's awesome.
Like, when do you get to play that? Is that tomorrow or?
Tonight at midnight. But it's not. It wouldn't be because we're Eastern Standard Time. So would it be? Would it be 2 in the morning? 4 in the morning?
You gonna?
I don't know. They said what time it would be.
You gonna stay here long enough to play it?
I have to work in the morning.
So no.
So
I can.
So
play
are you
it?
gonna stay here long enough to play it?
I have to get up for work at the time that I would be here to start
Or
playing.
are you gonna call into work and play Fallout 4? Is what we're asking you.
Are
right
you
now.
gonna
Calling
pull a
work last
Terry?
week.
When I was in high school, I Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had come out, and I love Marvel vs. Capcom was one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Marvel, Capcom, 2 amazing properties. I was
Fighting.
super excited. Fighting, exactly. And I haven't they hadn't done a sequel, and I think it was it 8 years, 10 years? It was a long time.
Long time.
It's a long time. So when they announced that, I was super pumped, and it came out, and it was like Tuesday. I just remember I didn't go to school, obviously. I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom, and Dave said some excuse for me, and some of my other friends were like, no, he's probably home playing video games. And my English teacher asked Dave, she goes, did Marvel vs. Capcom come out today? And Dave's just like, yeah. Like, I don't know how, I think she's got a couple kids near our age.
Probably.
But she was like, yeah, that sounds like Terry. Like,
I mean, after so many years, you don't get surprised anymore.
no, you really don't. You just kind of know. I was like, oh, game came out today. No, Terry's not coming to school. But it paid off.
I wonder if any teachers planned, knowing if you were gonna be.
No teachers gave a fuck if I was coming to school. No one planned anything. They don't care.
Well,
I didn't show up enough to class for them to care.
It'd be funny.
Because even when I was at school, I wasn't there. I was teaching you about comics in the chem lab. Or sleeping in my locker.
Or
I
that
was
one
playing,
time I'm in biology class, I get a text from Terry. Hey, man, why aren't you on WoW?
Dude, yeah, come on, man. Like, thought we were gonna raid today. Like, yeah, man, but like after school. I'm like, what do you mean?
Terry, I'm at school.
Why? It's Tuesday, Terry.
You go to school still?
We're playing WoW.
No, I was in school, like in class, always playing like Pokemon on the computer, or it was Minecraft. We'd have a server running, so we'd all like do different stuff.
That's when I got
Counter-Strike.
right when I got a big enough iPod. I would play WoW on the school computer in our CAD lab.
Yeah, we put all the emulators on there. I played
Emulators?
Binding of Isaac
Binding of Isaac
in school.
Shouldn't be playing emulators. It's illegal. Licenses. Terrible person.
I owned all the games. I paid all the games that I had, so I had all of them.
It's kind of how I felt about like NES ROMs when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
I didn't. It's like I have like a pile of cartridges. Like I'm sure I own this somewhere. I don't do it anymore. So like I don't want to play those games.
I
Like,
found out that even if you do own the cartridge, you're
it's still completely legal.
Yeah,
But I don't feel that.
you're just infringing on the copyright law.
Exactly. Well, it's the same thing. Like if but there's a screening law for DVDs in certain states. Like you couldn't show it to 20 people.
Yeah.
Like that's a screening, and then you're breaking the law. Some of that's stupid. Some of that I understand. If I made anything that anybody ever wanted, which clearly from this podcast no one does. No offense to anybody listening. I love you. You're the reason why I make $4 a month off advertising.
That's why we're here for the big bucks.
I mean, the major people that it would affect are the people that don't make as much money, that do the behind the scenes smaller stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I still like. I hate if we're gonna talk about this. We'll take a quick aside about it.
Yeah.
So like when you see those piracy commercials, like kids laugh, like, "Oh yeah, I'm a real pirate." Like, but really, I mean, you are breaking the law.
Yeah.
You are stealing you're stealing that DVD. Like, I don't like it is different. It's not a violent crime. I understand that. It doesn't feel like the same. You didn't walk into an FYE, and they're getting a lot of play on this podcast. You didn't walk in there and pocket, steal a CD by System of a Down. But you did. I mean, you stole a movie. That's a $20 theft. That's a big deal. If you steal a DVD from Walmart, they'll arrest you.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that you did the same thing, except for it was more convenient for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like if Walmart was next door, you could reach out and grab it. That's what you did. I mean, you'd like to think it's a victimless crime, but it's not. Like people that hurts the bottom line. And the thing is, like those fat cats who you're going, oh, it doesn't hurt them. They have all that money. Yeah, it doesn't hurt them, but the lower people are the ones who get
Exactly.
fired.
yeah.
Those audio engineers that work tirelessly
It-
on the movie, but
Exactly.
they don't get much credit for it.
It
'cause
won't
you don't
hurt
know who
the-
they are.
Exactly. That
It
one
won't-
CGI guy who worked like 15 months on Woody's finger,
Yeah.
just so it could be up Buzz's butt in that one scene. I haven't seen Toy Story. That's what it's about, right?
I
that
think
from
you
Toy Story
got
4?
the main
I got the main
Spectra.
that is really the heart of the story. But you know what I'm saying? Like those are the people that get hurt when you steal those, because those are the
Yeah.
people who get
Yeah.
cut, because the big guys aren't going to cut their pay.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the bigwigs because they have other people's salaries to take from.
Oh, damn straight. They were doing that in Arrow recently. Like,
Yeah.
like they were talking about like, oh no, we already all cut our pay. I'm like, you guys didn't cut your pay. Like Felicity in the show had to like fire like 35 people or something like that.
And then she rehired them all.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They just introduced Mr. Terrific. I don't know if you know Mr.
No idea.
DC. He's got T-spheres as his thing. Like he wears this like really weird looking T helmet, and he has T-spheres, which are like these like balls that can shoot lasers and can record things. And plus, he's like a super really good athlete. I think he was a QB in the comics. In this, he's an Olympic athlete, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, he was in Cuba for the Olympics.
yeah, that's what they're saying. Like he was in a backup in one of the Olympics.
Yeah.
I really like. I did want to talk about this, so we can go right. We can just segue right into that. So I was talking to Dave about it earlier. What they're doing with the TV universe for DC is similar to what Marvel's doing with all of their properties, with bringing Constantine recently into Arrow. From his
Okay.
Constantine show,
So good.
there's a connection there. Obviously, Flash and Arrow are connected. Heroes of Tomorrow is going to be connected. They wanted to connect Supergirl originally, but that's probably not going to happen. Which sucks because that would acknowledge Superman in that world.
Yeah.
Because Superman's acknowledged in Supergirl. So that's not going to happen. But like the way they're using these characters over and over, and they're popping up in different shows, is similar to what Marvel's done. And it sucks that it's not tying into their DC world. But do you guys think they should?
I don't know. Like I definitely think they should, but at the same time, I can understand why they didn't.
I understand why they didn't. Just like I was telling you before, like they'd be beholden to all the character choices that have been made so far. Like just for instance, if they ever wanted to use, let's say, Red Arrow, what's his name?
Roy Harper.
Roy Harper, but I don't remember the actor's name. But if they ever want to, Roy Harper is already an actor.
Yeah.
You could recast him, and that's going to cause confusion. If he's supposed to be the same character in that world, we've grown intelligence as an audience to where we recognize if a character's changed. It's not like when they replaced the general from I, Gene Genie and no one cared, or not I, Gene. No, it wasn't that. It was Bewitched that they replaced.
Yeah.
They replaced the dad in Bewitched and no one noticed.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like we would notice as fans, as an audience of these shows, we would know when they do that.
Well, the other thing is, unless anything's changed, they announced Flash movie.
Oh yeah, no, nothing's just changed. Like they're gonna have two different ones.
It's a different
actor. Yeah,
different
it's Ezra
actor.
Miller. Ezra Miller is going to play.
Yeah.
It's and the thing is, what I was saying, like they're not connected at all, so they don't have to do that. So they can
Right.
have somebody else. But are they hurting themselves? Like these shows aren't like the most watched shows ever, but they're popular. They're reviewed well. Other than last season of Arrow, which wasn't reviewed very well, they all get very good scores all over this. But I mean, people like to say TV and movies are different, critically, different scales. But TV's gone through a renaissance, and while I don't think they're the best shows on television, I enjoy them as a comic book fan. I think they're fun shows to watch. They definitely have that CW vibe of soap opera. But
that's the main reason why I haven't been able to get into them as much.
You've watched more Gilmore Girls than you care to admit, sir. I think you could handle watching Flash for some awesome fights.
Why would you not want to admit to watching Gilmore Girls?
I think it's a solid show.
It's fine. I had no problem.
Gilmore Girls. They're bringing back Gilmore Girls. Coming back to Netflix.
Woo.
Fuck you. Rory and Lorelai are wonderful women. If you lead, I will follow. Okay, you guys are gonna join in with this?
No,
all right,
no.
I'm gonna pretend like that didn't happen. That's the theme. That's the theme song to Gilmore.
I
Anyways,
haven't seen it in so long that I could probably catch on in a minute, but I can't right now.
that was my sister's favorite show when I was younger. So,
Yeah.
so I've watched all of Gilmore Girls. Recently, I was catching up with it on Netflix, and my wife came home and she's like, "What have you been doing today?" I was like, "No." Then she's like, "Are you sick? You look like you've been in bed all day." I was like, "I kind of have. I'm not feeling great." She's like, "Oh, what'd you watch?" Like, obviously, I'm just gonna sit there and watch Netflix. I'm not feeling very well. I'm like, "Oh, this and that." And she goes, "Let's just continue watching Gilmore Girls." You're like, season 5? You just watch Gilmore Girls all day? No. Why were you watching Gilmore? I can watch Gilmore Girls if I want, Emily. And I threw something at her. It was the whole thing. But
Usual Terry fare.
yeah, the usual Terry. Felt like it did when I was in college, and all my roommates caught me watching Star Trek, and I pretended like I was masturbating instead.
Well, I mean, that's what you would do in that situation.
Only walking in, my shirt was off, and like I'm just like in bed with like the covers over me, and I'm watching Kirk, double fist that lizard dude.
Which still sounds like a porn.
I was gonna get to that. It definitely sounds like a porn, and so does like the noise is like ugh, ugh. So they walk in, and my roommate's just like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Like, make sure you put the sock in there." I was like, "Oh no, I was watching stuff." Yeah, I was masturbating. That's on me. But because college, Star Trek. I'm not ashamed of it now, but at the time, I was like, I'm trying to make new friends. I'm already the weirdest dude in here. They're all dude bros.
I mean, they already thought you were a creep walking around the.
They did. They all thought I was
campus
a
at
serial
night.
killer, but that's a story for another 10,000 years.
I was gonna say millennia.
Yeah, exactly.
Another eon or so.
It's one of those things my kids get to read in a newspaper someday. Anyways, I was in our school newspaper. They thought I was a creeper because I had a trench coat, and I was like, it's winter in Michigan. And
It's fucking cold.
it's like -4 degrees outside.
It's like Sidewinder.
I had- really
cold.
fucking cold. Exactly. It was a big pea coat that went down like past my knees. Anyways, Constantine was awesome on Arrow. That is the moral of that story.
Exactly.
So they're going to be doing the DC cinematic universe. They're going to be doing that with Man of Steel, Batman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Flash.
I'm really
Aquaman.
excited for all that.
I'm super excited for it. So like I'll be less upset these characters don't matter together later on once I have those other characters to sustain it. I love the TV shows, and I'm glad they're their own thing, actually. The only thing that sucks about it is that they don't get certain characters that they'd like to use. Like, they introduced Harley Quinn, they're never going to get to use her because she's going to be in Suicide Squad. They wanted to do Blue Beetle with Ted Kord. Instead, they had to make him Ray Palmer because they wanted to do Blue Beetle in the movies, which is fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that sucks. They had to use Rip Hunter instead of what's the guy who teams with Blue Beetle? I'm sorry, I'm blanking here. From the future. He tells everybody he's like an athlete, but he's like a
Booster
janitor.
Gold.
Booster Gold. They had to use Rip Hunter instead of Booster Gold because they're going to use Booster Gold in the movies. So sometimes it sucks they don't get to use those. Which, if they're going to have 2 Flashes, why not have 2 Blue Beetles?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
why not?
have why? What does it matter? But I'm not rich and
And I mean,
famous. so I
technically
don't-
in Flash, there's like going to be 3 Flashes because the Earth 2 or 1 or whatever.
Exactly, Jay Garrick, exactly, and Jay Garrick, I'm sure, will pop up in the movies at some point. And then you got Wally West showing up, and Wally West is definitely going to be in the movies. So, so exactly,
It's going to be Flashes all over the place.
and then reverse flashes, and then you got
Oh.
Doctor Zooms, and then you have normal zooms, and
zoom, zoom, zoom.
exactly. So there's to avoid confusion. I think is a terrible excuse, but that's
Yeah.
what they, But I'm excited. I think Ezra Miller's going to do a good job in those, so I'm excited for those.
Batwayne. Bruce Wayne.
Fuck. Quick aside. So the big rumor was that Chris Pine was going to be Green Lantern. Didn't end up being Green Lantern. He's going to be Trevor something. Wonder Woman's love interest.
Yeah.
The guy who
yeah.
crashes on Paradise Island. So he's going to be that. But he's in this new movie called Finest Hours. It's all about water. He even says it in the movie. They're like, yeah, I'm scared below the ocean. It's dark. He's like, it's just more water. Do you think secretly he's Aquaman and this ties into it?
God, I hope so.
Yep.
You're going to have the pretty boy Aquaman, and then you're going to have the hard-ass Aquaman. Back-to-back fighting.
And then where does Casey Affleck play into that?
He's also... No, he's Aqualad.
Okay.
He's Aqualad in Aquaman's old costume with the green tights, Speedo.
So then does
Aquadog.
he get to work with
He's
Ben
Aquadog.
Affleck?
No,
Oh,
never.
never.
Never. You don't bring that up again. Ever since Reindeer Games. Pretty sure they were both in that one. Which, if you don't know, that's a Jack Ryan movie.
Okay.
Ben Affleck, Chris Pine. Oh, Chris Pine. See, they get
Yep.
full circle.
Whoa.
Ben Affleck, Chris Pine, Han Solo.
Yeah, Finest Hour is prequel to Aquaman.
Oh,
for
and
sure.
the other one, the other guy, Baldwin. All played Jack Ryan. Splinter Cell.
Damn.
All those other movies.
Got it.
It's all connected, man.
We have Finest
Half-Life
Hour.
3 confirmed.
Finest Hour is January 29th.
Yep, and then the other Chris, he's going to be in Heart of Darkness.
In the Heart of the Sea.
Heart of the Sea. Heart of Darkness is an awesome movie if you've never seen that.
That's
It's a
in
documentary.
December.
What?
That one's in December.
What? Heart of Darkness?
Heart of the
No.
Sea.
Oh, I thought you were talking. It's like, no, Heart of Darkness is already out. That's already a thing.
Time travel.
No, Heart of the Sea with the other Chris and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Chris
Tom
Hemsworth
Holland.
and Tom Holland.
Spider-Man.
Moby Dick. The
Who plays
true story.
Who plays Moby Dick?
Ben Affleck. And then I don't. There's
I thought it was James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is doing the voice, but Ben Affleck is doing the motion capture.
I just imagine. I just imagine like a whale-sized Ben Affleck just coming out of the water, CGI.
Exactly.
Everything the light touches is all.
It's our kingdom. Simba.
Oh, that's gotta suck because the light doesn't penetrate through the water that far.
It's just more water. So, I mean, there's a lot of other movies coming out like that aren't genre. I'm excited for all those, but really what I'm excited for is Star Wars. I don't know.
That's
So
creeping right up on us
we're
too.
1 hour and 4 minutes into this, and we haven't mentioned Star Wars once.
Yeah, I thought about that 20 minutes ago, and I was like, I'll let this ride, see how it happens.
I mean, I'm good. We're gonna go a little bit long today. When I say a little bit long, it's like we do every time. It's a conversational podcast that I own. We will do whatever the fuck I want. God damn it! If I want to talk 60 minutes on the intricacies of Civil War, I will.
it's up to them when they stop listening.
No one's gonna listen to this far,
We want
anyways.
to talk about Marky Mark for 2 hours.
We can talk about Marky Mark for 2 hours.
Yeah.
He's got a new movie coming out. Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
Marky Mark.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, which is their second movie together since Other Guys.
Other guys.
Oh.
It's an amazing film.
That was
but
good. Solid.
A lot of people didn't like it. I love Will Ferrell. I'm a sucker for him. So
Mhm.
and
Rock
Marky
was
Mark
in that too, wasn't he?
for like the first like 5 minutes. Him and
they jump off the.
was it Ice-T? Was Ice-T the other? Was Ice-T the other? Was it Ice-T or was it?
Samuel L. Jackson?
It was Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
Sorry, Jesus Christ.
They
you
jump off.
racist.
What am
the,
I? And I'm not racist. Ice-T is my favorite cop from Law and Order. So I just whenever I think Super Cop, I think Ice-T. So you telling me these guys like look little children? Damn, disgusting. I'm sorry. That's his line in every SVU episode. He is the audience, but like if we were really dumb, he's the reason why they have to explain what all these things are.
yeah.
John Mulaney has a really good joke you should check out about Ice-T on Law and Order. Anyways, so
my grandma used to watch Law and Order. I couldn't handle it.
what? You need to watch all of Law and Order, but that's a story for a different time.
Dum, bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun. This is why no one listens to this podcast, is because this is what happens when you get an hour into this. We just break down and start doing noises from Law and Order, the show that you said you've never seen, but you're talking about the theme song.
My grandma lived with me. She watched it all day, every
You
day.
just hear it through a wall. Grandma, turn the fucking Law and Order.
Exactly.
Jerry, turn the fucking stereo down.
I fell asleep to that song.
That's a good.
It was in my dreams all the time.
That's a really sad lullaby. Like if you think about any Law and Order series, SVU, Criminal Intent, Normal Law and Order, Trial by Jury. That's a deep cut for you. I bet you never seen that one. It only had one season. It was like 3 episodes.
Best lullaby is the Metallica one from Enter Sandman.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
No.
You weirdo. Get out of here. I'm doing the rest of the podcast by myself. You guys are ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
So Daddy's
You're
home.
out of order.
You're out of order.
Daddy's Home looks really funny. Deadpool.
Deadpool.
February 12th.
So, they were talking about it recently about how Negasonic Teenage Warhead was like a last-minute addition to that movie. She looks like, I bet she seems pretty integral to that storyline. But
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of Ryan Reynolds trick or treating as Deadpool?
yes, with all of the little
great.
kids. I thought that was hilarious, and it's like really adorable. Like, also those kids really shouldn't be in Deadpool. He's kind of a bad role model,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But Ryan Reynolds is the shit, so I'm completely fine with it. He was also talking. He was recently interviewed. He was talking about the makeup and like how like you can't have, because like they're talking about like most people talk about Deadpool, like you can't. Most superheroes, you can't have the mask on the entire time. People can't connect with the mask, so they have to do something different. Like with Iron Man, they had the camera inside the helmet, set up. So like people don't want to see the mask the whole time. And he's like, fuck that. Like I'm going to be in the mask the whole time, because Deadpool, you can't connect with Deadpool if it's just like doughy eyed, my big blue eyes and my handsome face. Like you can't do that. That's not Deadpool.
Yeah. His face is all scarred up though.
That's what they're saying. Like people, talk about like how Deadpool, if the original way they did it,
Right.
like you just can't do that. Like it's got to be if you're going to be true to Deadpool, it's got to be fucked up face, mask 24/7. And I'm just excited. It really looks like they're being really genuine to that character. He looks like he's having a blast. Even if the movie's not amazing, like the game, I was a little disappointed with the game. Game kind of sucked. But it was hilarious because it was Deadpool.
Yeah, it was a fun ride the whole way, even though it wasn't that good.
You were hopping on speech bubbles and
Exactly. Nolan North does an awesome Deadpool. And I wonder if they're gonna have any gags with that, because Nolan North plays Deadpool in like everything.
Maybe he's one of the voices in Deadpool's
head. Oh my god, that is such a good idea. I wonder if they do anything like that. Probably not. We would have heard about
That would have been so sweet.
That would have because I wonder if they're gonna do, because Deadpool normally has 3 voices.
Yeah, it's like the yellow box is one, and
the
then
yellow box is him speaking out loud.
Yeah.
And then you have the white italics, which is like his logical brain.
Right.
There's the blue,
And then the blue is like his like other crazy one. And then actually the fourth was added when he had Headpool attached to his arm for a long time, which was his zombie head from the zombie universe that he brought with him after he decapitated himself.
Yep.
I fucking love that. That's like one of my favorite Deadpool stories. So like I wonder, I that's a really cool idea. I really wish they would do something with that. I hope they give some sort of homage to him, because they do that with like Hulk. Like Lou Ferrigno does the voice of the Hulk.
Yeah.
And all of them. He pops up all the time. They don't do anything with Eric Bana or Edward Norton, but I mean they do little things like that, little nods. I think it'd be neat if they toss something to Nolan North, because Nolan North is an amazing actor, and toss something like toss him about. No, that dude's amazing and can be fine on his own, but he is what made that character not. I mean, the character was popular anyways, but kind of brought him to a different medium, because no one had heard Deadpool talk before Nolan North did it.
Yeah, and he does a fantastic job.
Exactly. I mean, he did it in a couple cartoons. He, what else did he do it in? He did it in Marvel vs. Capcom. Was that the first time he did it?
I thought maybe he did it in like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Was it Marvel Ultimate Alliance that he did it in?
I think so.
No, not Ultimate Alliance. It was the other one. It was X-Men Legends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know he was a secret character in that, but I wasn't sure if it was Nolan North that did that voice.
I don't know. I just remember he popped up
Yeah.
first in X-Men Legends too. Deep cut. That game no one knows about. No one talks about those games anymore.
But they were so fun.
Oh, they were really fun. Other than Deadpool, I'm a little disappointed in Star Wars right now, but it makes complete sense. We can't wear our extreme costumes anymore to a lot of those
yeah,
showings.
but no, I'm
for
I'm
a
with
good
them.
reason. After everything that happened with Batman,
Yeah.
which was really scary. That was the day I proposed to my wife. It was after The Dark Knight Rises, and we're having the best moment of our lives where other people are losing theirs.
Yeah.
And it was really depressing.
Very
after we got back.
juxtaposed.
It really was. I mean, like it didn't ruin our night, and that's like such a selfish thing to say, anyways. You know what I mean? Like when people were hurt, people were killed, and that was such a sad thing to happen. And just that people would do that is crazy, and that's a story for a different podcast, really. But I completely understand why we can't wear these costumes that can conceal, because you want people to feel safe. This is supposed to be an amazing experience for people.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when you're worried about what's going to happen. You can't keep people safe when you don't know what they could be carrying on them.
Especially with such a big movie like this, the theaters are gonna be packed.
The theaters going to be packed.
You can't have any chance of having some sort of threat like that going on.
No, exactly. And security is going to be lax at a certain point because there's so many theaters doing the full marathon of all 6 movies beforehand.
Yeah.
Which I can't do. I couldn't.
No.
do it. Couldn't sit through those movies again. Not that I don't love them, but just like being in the theater, it's gonna
And
be
then
smelly.
to watch all those and then have to go to the seventh movie
Seventh one
afterwards,
exactly after.
You're not gonna want to watch it.
Nah, I'd be so tired. Exactly. I'd
I mean,
fall
we'll
asleep
do our
and-
own movie marathon.
You could probably do like one every day.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, like a couple of my friends are going from work, and they were talking about just going to see the last 3. And I was
Yeah.
like, I understand. Like, I don't really want to watch,
Yeah,
Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars again. Definitely not Phantom Menace, but
No.
I understand like just going to the last 3. But yeah, so like that stinks from like a nerd point of view, but like as like me being a husband and a father, like I'm very glad I'm going to be safe when I go see Star Wars,
Yeah.
and that other people are going to be. So, we still had our costume ideas, and I think it'd be fun for us to do it. Maybe still, we wanted to do Spider-Man crossed with Jedi.
Jedi or Sith specific.
I was going to be a Jedi. Were you going to be a
Okay.
Sith?
Yeah, I was gonna be a Sith.
What was your costume going to be?
Just regular Spider-Man, but with like a dark cloak.
Ah,
See, I was expecting Black Suit Spider-Man.
I was expecting that too. I thought you were going to do symbiote Spider-Man. I was going to do Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider.
Right.
The original Scarlet Spider costume with a blue like robe, like a Hugh Hefner robe,
Right, yeah.
but it's blue with the sleeves cut off, and then like it looks like his like hoodie,
yeah.
yeah, and then with a blue double-sided lightsaber. Were you gonna do 2099?
Oh, of course.
What were you gonna do with that?
Honestly, I was just thinking like 2099 mask with like just brown robe Jedi classic
Cool. Like I think
with red lightsabers.
nice. So like 2099 is just like. No, like a robe to fit my costume? No, fuck that. I'm a Jedi.
Yeah. I'm from the future.
This was brought up to me, and I never really thought about it when I was younger and I watched Star Wars movies, but like Luke was very Sith-like in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, definitely. I pointed that out a long time ago.
And it just never really occurred to me for a long time. And then like after I got into Knights of the Old Republic and more of the Jedi like mythos.
His first like physical appearance in that movie, he's force
Force
choking
choking,
Gamorreans.
exactly, and which he teaches those moves in the Jedi Academy Expanded Universe books.
Yeah.
Like he teaches like Sith like teachings, because not all of what the Sith does is bad,
Yeah.
and not all of what the Jedi Council did
And
is
I
good.
mean, like it's like you can't just ignore the bad and make it go away.
Exactly,
You have
he's,
to
like-
respect it and
also like you can utilize that, like
Yeah.
that's an impressive move, like
maybe not to the full extent of it. You know,
exactly, like don't murder them, A couple they're this
I mean,
size or this size.
it helps if your enemy is like choking for a couple seconds.
Exactly. So the reason why I bring that up, and like we've talked about on this podcast before, that we haven't seen Luke in any of these trailers and stuff, but the reason why I bring it up kind of is with the costume limitations. You can't wear masks. You can. They think they said you can wear robes, but you can't bring any weapons. No lightsabers, nothing like that. What costumes do you think we're going to see other than Luke from Return of the Jedi, because it's a simple black suit?
Yeah.
Or Han because it's just a vest. What do you think we're going to see? Because I don't know I don't know if I'm going to dress up now.
I don't know.
Lando Calrissian.
coolest motherfucker in space. I don't have a cape.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
I don't have a cape. I wish I had a cape. Maybe I could buy a cape just for this.
I can see more like Star Wars T-shirts and like
Definitely.
all day. But
I'm gonna bring my Wookiee finger.
yeah,
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
The Emperor?
The Emperor. That's a pretty good idea. Just like a big black cloak.
Yeah. Just hobble around like this.
Do it.
You got T-Rex arms. Just
Fake lightning.
do it.
maybe paint your face green, put some ears on for Yoda or something.
I'll
Jar
grow
Jar
up,
Binks.
I'll grow up my fingernails really long like the Guinness World Records and then paint them blue so it's like Force lightning.
Everyone in that building is an enemy of the Republic.
Does he say it like that?
No.
I think he says it like Palpatine.
That is actually in a G4 parody.
Is
of
it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
but he says that in the movie though, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
Like,
he says,
everybody in that ship.
it's like everyone in the Jedi Order or something like that.
That's at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, right? It's been so long since I saw those.
It's when Order 66 happens.
Oh, it's right then?
Yeah,
so
I
it's like
think so.
as he's becoming the Emperor.
Yeah, it's becoming the Emperor, and he's saying everyone.
Yeah. But I remember the it was the X-Play.
Yeah.
It was X-Play who did it, yeah.
Because
I was
it was.
just listening to Adam Sessler on those, and he was like, "Yeah, we got away with a lot of shit on that." That's the reason why I got fired. Like as soon as they came into new management, they're like, "Get the fuck out."
That show was so good.
It was really good. It sucks because like you hear a lot of things about those guys like just hated it because they were treated so poorly through that company.
Right.
Like Adam Sessler's like, I don't miss that at all. I was like, it sucks because that's like such a.
That was such an enjoyable like thing for us.
It was one of the few nerd things that you could grasp onto on television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just sit for hours watching Machinima, or not Machinima. What was it?
It was Machinima Light essentially. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was different.
Cinematech.
It was cutscenes and trailers from video games and some original anime and CGI work.
Watched Cinematech, Electric Playground, Attack of the Show.
Loved Attack of the Show.
Attack of the Show was amazing. X-Play.
X-Play.
Of course, X-Play.
There was another one, I can't remember it. Cheat was fun.
Cheat was fun until like the internet came.
Yeah.
The internet killed G4 anyways.
Yeah.
G4 killed G4 and Tech TV because of Tech TV before that because they didn't treat their talent right and also they didn't produce any more shows.
Nope, it was hours upon hours of cops
all
and
the
cheaters.
cops, man. But like, I mean, I understand because like those networks weren't given a lot of money to do other shows or anything like that. But it was just disappointing to see it turn into that. Although I did watch a lot of Cops. I like Cops. The Cops is a solid show. Web Soup.
Yeah.
My first encounter with Chris Hardwick.
Oh yeah.
Because I was too young to watch. What was the name of his show? He was on those dating shows on MTV.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I
what they
can't
were.
remember what it was, but yeah.
Singled Out.
Oh, okay.
It was Singled Out. That's what it was. Yeah, never really watched those. I was too young. Too young for that stuff. I'm a little kitty with a beard.
Like a child lost in the woods.
I gotta start looking out for that. I gotta watch my kid so he doesn't get lost in the woods.
Good thing we don't have much of a woods around.
You know, I mean, there's the highway right there.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't let him get into that either.
I mean, you can just climb right over the
My
back
my
wall.
brick wall I have in the backyard. We'll build a higher fence. That's too Donald Trump, isn't it? He shouldn't be talking about fences.
Oh God.
Build a wall. No, that's worse. A light tarp. Drape it over.
I mean, like you could put like a backdrop there, make it look like something else.
What I'll do is I'll do it like The Village. Like I will buy a wilderness. What are those called? The reserves. I'll buy a wildlife reserve, and not tell my kid that it's actually the 21st century, and just raise them like it's olden times. Like if I have
butter.
Like if I have a daughter, like she's not allowed to show her elbows, and if she's blind, I will pretend to be a monster. Basically, The Village. But I'm not as good of a writer as M. Night Shyamalan.
I'm not sure that's that hard to beat.
I was gonna say M. Night Shyamalan can be a good writer.
Hey, M. Night Shyamalan is the shit. The Village is an awesome movie.
I mean, depending on where he is in his life.
And you know what?
career.
I also like The Devil. I don't know. Do you guys see that one? The one in the elevator? I thought that was a solid elevator movie.
I haven't seen that one.
As far as elevator movies
As
go.
far as elevator movies go, that's top tier, man. Right up there with insert elevator movie here.
Lift.
Is that a movie? Or
I have
just
no
made it
idea.
up? We should make that.
Copyright it now.
I want 3 dudes in an elevator talking about other elevator movies. Mostly just Devil because they can't think of anything else.
That'd be like 20 seconds.
There's a long elevator. We'll base it in the future where there's taller
Wonka-vator.
buildings. It's a Wonka. Exactly. We can go any direction you want. Press the red button. I've never pressed it before.
Still like my theory that the Wonka Vader was really the TARDIS.
That's not a theory. That's just dumb. Don't compare Willy Wonka to your fucking timey-wimey bullshit. You can't ruin that for me. I hate you. Wonka only had one heart because he's a normal fucking human
I'm
being.
not saying he was the Time Lord.
You can't have a TARDIS without a Time Lord, Dave. For somebody who's a Whovian, you should know that.
You can do whatever you want because it's fucking Doctor Who.
Exactly. Dumbass show.
That's why I know nothing about
Have
it.
you been watching it recently?
I love and hate it at the
What's
same
the
time.
name of the starfish-looking fuckers that show up all the time? Like Gorians?
Starfish looking fuckers.
They look like starfish.
That's called a starfish.
No, it's just like one point, and they open up like this.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about. They were in the most recent episode.
Oh, you mean the Zygons?
Yeah, they look like a fucking starfish. At one point.
I mean,
But you, me, fuck you.
the overall arc of the episode was neat, but like there was some.
I'm glad you're giving me some like hard-hitting critical words here, like neat.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I love the detail that I get from you on this.
Well, it was interesting. It was better than more recent episodes, in my opinion. It was a really neat twist at the end that I didn't expect because like I've just grown to expect that the companion is just gonna fucking be there the whole time.
They kill her off?
No, they didn't kill her off.
Spoilers,
yet,
they didn't kill her off.
Because surprise, she's leaving at the end of the season. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but
Was Maisie Williams in it?
no.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care when she was on there. Game of Thrones.
Her second episode was really good, but her first one was
Was she timey-wimey?
Yes and no, because she's traveling through time the same way we do. She's just
I
immortal.
feel like if anybody's traveling through time, it's timey-wimey.
Yeah.
If there's a definition of timey-wimey, I believe it's timey-wimey.
Yep.
Fucking Doctor Who, god damn
I'm lost.
it. Of course you are. It's Doctor Who. It makes no goddamn sense.
I agree.
You gonna watch the new spinoff?
No.
Elementary Kids?
No,
They're timey-wimey?
I'm not gonna watch the stupid ass spinoff. I'm not gonna watch the stupid ass K9 movie.
Is he timey-wimey?
Yes.
I like how you say, "Oh, they're dumb." Like Doctor Who isn't like it's just so much better than their spinoffs.
I'm not saying Doctor Who's an amazing show. I watch it because I've been a fan of it for so long, and I hope it gets better.
I'm not saying that it's bad. Like that's my opinion. But what I'm saying is like that that you hold it to such a standard that like its spinoffs are so bad. Like, oh no, that's terrible. It's like you're trying to say like Doctor Who's like Friends and its spinoffs are like Joey.
No, I'm just saying the show isn't that great to begin with, and it doesn't need.
What are you talking
spinoffs.
about?
That's my favorite
Shake my hand,
spinoff.
sir.
Handshaking.
That one I completely.
This is the
concur with.
sound of handshaking.
What's your favorite spinoff?
Spinoff of Friends.
Joey?
Yeah.
The 2 seasons of
Yep.
Joey? That is the worst
No,
show.
it's terrible.
I watched.
I watched all of it.
I watched
but-
all of it too live when I was on. I was like, oh yeah, more Friends. I'm so excited for it. Then in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's so bad. It was kind of like the first time you see Phantom Menace. You're like,
Yeah.
that wasn't that bad. That's a pretty good movie. I don't know why everyone hates it. Oh wait, that's terrible.
When I was a kid, I was like, "This is awesome," and then like 2 years later, I'm like, "Wow, this is bad."
Why'd they kill off the one good bad guy they had?
Yeah, right away. But he's not dead now.
I bet you they really wish they didn't kill off Qui-Gon Jinn in the first movie.
Right? That was my biggest upset with that
Liam
movie.
Neeson's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's always a bigger fish.
Exactly. God.
I just feel like they tried to cover way too much time in 3 movies.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to detract anything from the new movies. If anything, these are going to overshadow those.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope they do something with it because if it's going to be canon, I want there
Yeah.
to be a reason it's canon.
Acknowledge it, but don't like pull everything from it.
I just want a throwaway line that gets rid of midichlorians. Like
Yeah,
that was
yes,
junk
please.
science. Like it was a thing that they thought was true, but they're wrong. Like maybe.
Well, Luke Jr., they were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Midichlorians don't matter. This is magic, because magic exists with it. Like Night Sisters. Like Night Sisters use magic. I mean that's expanded universe, but they introduced
Because,
Night
like-
Sisters in
Like that was the thing.
Clone Wars. So.
With the original trilogy, you could believe that anyone could be a Jedi.
Right.
Now with the stupid midichlorians, oh hey, it's genetic. Only this guy's going to be a Jedi.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it's not anybody
Not
could
necessarily,
be.
because everybody has midichlorians.
Chlorians, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
but-
just a certain
certain people have
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And it's led to believe that it's because like there's certain blood and it's
Yeah, the problem I have with it is exactly that. If there's certain blood, they could use injections.
Yep.
So you could essentially be
Which
be
honestly,
roided out in
I
force
really
powers.
like your theory about that. Kylo Ren injecting himself with Vader
with
blood.
Vader blood. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing is like if midichlorians are a thing in this world, they're based off blood. If they're parasites, then you could juice. You could juice your force powers. You could be like Sammy Sosa.
And then what kills Kylo Ren is actually space AIDS.
Space AIDS. Oh my goodness. Dun dun dun. Do they have space cocktail drugs so he can be like Magic Johnson?
Force Johnson.
Force. I feel like I've seen that movie. That was vastly different. So if I'm going to sum up this podcast, Kylo Ren has space AIDS and he's juicing the Force. Chris Pine is playing Aquaman in Finest Hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just more water. Doctor Who's very timey-wimey.
Of course.
There's too many flashes. Jessica Jones, Civil War. Watch Jessica Jones in 2 weeks. It's gonna be awesome.
Comics.
Strange.
Comics. Real quick aside, we've been gone for a couple weeks. We've been getting ready for our next show, Right in the Fields. Look out for that. That's going to be coming early January. That's our pop culture show where we talk about the nostalgic shit that's coming back into the zeitgeist, like Digimon returning, Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls is making a comeback. Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Nickelodeon shows are coming back. Power Rangers, the new movie, things of that nature.
All things we loved.
All things we love. Boy Meets World. Coming back, this Girl Meets World. That is kind of the direction we're going for that show. It's going to be a little bit higher production value. We're going to have some YouTube videos, interviews. Not with anybody important. No, I'm not going to pretend to lead you on there. It's like my friends. We're going to be interviewing other people who wants the show. No one famous is ever going to talk to me.
It's almost like they're people of little consequence.
Oh, people of Persons of No Consequence is another show that Dave is plugging. It's our interview podcast where we go one-on-one with someone who you think doesn't matter, and you hear how awesome lives can be, and you get political views and awesome stories of normal people because you think they don't matter. The reason why it's called Persons of No Consequence, quick aside, I was asked the other day, that's what Wikipedia labels you as. Like if I made a Wikipedia page for you, Jordan, Wikipedia, some moderator would label you a person of no consequence and delete the page.
They would actually look up all that they could find about me and keep that up there. Actually,
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would. Like what?
everything.
And what? Give me something.
It's just too much to say.
Well, good to know. Good to know that you're interesting and no one will know about it.
Exactly. They won't know why, but
I'm going to see like Chuck Norris facts pop up about you on the internet. So look out for our other projects. We have a new member joining the cast here soon as he can get here. I'm pretty sure he's detained in Mexico for something. I'm not going to go into the details.
We all have jobs. Scheduling's a bitch.
No, I'm pretty sure he was arrested in Mexico. I'm going to stick
I
with
was
that
going to
story.
say
Oh,
he shouldn't have went down there with his warrant.
I got warrants.
We're going to have to put a disclaimer when he comes on the show. Like, look, he is not a convicted felon.
He's not a felon.
He's never been arrested in a foreign country.
That we know of.
I was going to say, we don't know that for sure.
We don't have any record of that. Sir, I did the full background check. I swear to God. Like, I looked at all of his crayon colorings. None of them were him murdering his family.
Just one.
He gave me a license. It wasn't his, but it was definitely American.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what else do I need to find out? His birth certificate. I mean, it was written with green crayon on the back of an envelope, but that's what birth certificates are.
It was notarized.
1914.
It was notarized. I like the idea that he had a notary stamp like all of these crazy documents.
Had to have been Taco from.
I was
the
just
League.
saying.
Taco from the or Gary Gergich from Parks and Rec. He was also a licensed notary. Notaries are getting a lot of play in pop culture right now. That's the thing. Kids, you're gonna grow up. They're gonna tell you can't be an astronaut, but you can be a notary.
I'm gonna make this purchase.
Can you be a notary in space?
Whole notary,
Whole new job market.
notary republic. Like Star Wars, get a republic.
Oh,
'cause it's Notary Republic, Notary Republic. Anyways, thank you for listening to our podcast. If you want to tweet at us, we're at Cave Trolls Cast. If you want to tweet at me, I'm at Resident Stevel. Dave is at David Tulgetske. Jordan's at Extraordinary. I will put the annotations in there. So if you just want to click on them, they'll connect right over because we have terrible spellings and all of those. If you want to email us, any questions, comments, concerns, hate mail, love mail, whatever you want, I'll put our address on there too. I know you guys want them to come and visit.
Yeah, all two of our fangirls.
our you guys can stay for dinner.
Our email is at cavetrollspodcast. No, it's cavetrollspodcast@gmail.com. Too many things. It's very hard to get of. We have our Facebook group that no one is on, so go ahead and add yourself. You guys can run it. I'm not going to. Never going to do anything with that. So check us out. Thank you for listening. If you want anything else, go to our website. There's stuff and things on there, which is just cavetrollscast.squarespace.com. Because I'm poor.
We are poor.
We are poor, and then I'm not going to pay for $20 for a damn URL. Actually, I own the URL. I just haven't changed the door. I will get to that.
Not only are we poor, but we're lazy.
Oh, exactly. We're both. Exactly. If anyone's listened to this podcast, the hour and a half that we've been talking, they have definitely pulled that from it. If they've pulled anything from this, it's that we're poor and lazy. That's the one thing they've got. I'm asking you, if you pull anything from this conversation, know that I spread my butt